You collaborated with Anthony B,
Yeah.
Zambia. You just told me about Kalo and Robs.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad.
Hash one.
Heshwan. Yeah, you've done a lot with Motswako people.
Yeah, I have actually.
Yes.
A lot.
Look at you.
I was actually working on something with who's this? It's just that we didn't finish that up. Tuksinganga.
Oh no!
Yes.
Why don't you finish it?
I don't think Tux is into other things now, man.
I go back. Finish it.
I can't do no small talk, no small talk. I'm not with the small talk. Can't be with the small talk.
A lot of us were introduced to him as the son of legendary reggae artist Dr. Colbert Mukwevho when he performed his song Lily on Gem Ellie. Look at me. Exposing my age. But at the age of 30, same year, he released his album Here I Am, and also followed by Spectacular, which became a banger because I think also it was made the soundtrack of Miss SA. But recently, I've been seeing a lot of people asking this question, and I got tired of seeing you on Twitter all the time asking, where is this boy? And I was like, it's not a boy anymore.
No, that's for sure.
Yes. So just tell me first, because you have been singing since like you were born.
Yeah.
Paint a picture for me as Percy, the child star. How was it like? How was the scene as Percy in Venda? I think you went to like 4 or 5 primary schools as well.
No, yeah. I was really like that kid that was, being switched around schools a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. Just to correct you there.
Yeah.
I released my first album, Here I Am, when I was 14.
Oh, not 13.
Actually 13. Sorry. Did you say 13?
I said 13.
I thought you said 16. My bad. Yes, I was 13, and then the second album, Spectacular, was when I was 15. And then before that, before the Spectacular album was when I was from Zambia, which was when I was 14.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then man, it's been quite a journey, and I've always been that kid who had dreadlocks at school while nobody else had. So even with this whole schooling thing, where I was getting switched around a lot, that was also a factor. So growing up, I had a very, very interesting career, schooling history, so man, I'm just glad that wherever I used to step in, because like back in the day there were very few artists like me, like that were doing music at that age, especially singing like R&B. With Abom Zambia, we were like the only ones that were doing
You were
that.
like 14 singing love songs.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, man. It's good to see that we were the youngins that actually changed the game in a sense, and to be around still, still being relevant to date. It's a good, feeling. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I imagine coming in the industry, you also don't want to be in the shadow of this legend that's already your father.
Yeah.
You don't want to be seen as Percy's Colbert Mukwevho's son.
Yeah.
But you want to be seen as your own person. How was it difficult for you to like navigate around that and to say to the people? Because I imagine from the age of 8, you performing and everybody, you were referred to, no, man, wana khantate Colbert, mubiteng.
Exactly.
But then how was it difficult for you to navigate around that and to just stand tall and say, hey, I'm Percy Mukwevho, P Postman?
I won't lie. It was kind of challenging. Also, like, especially back home. I think back home is where that applied more. You know what I mean? Because my fellow vendor people mostly look at my dad than anything. You know what I mean? And if anything, it always is. It's that boy. Colbert Mukwevho. So, But with the scene around Joburg and everything, it wasn't that hard. Um, it because people didn't know me
Yes.
as Colbert's son.
Yeah.
They just knew me as this boy that sings with Zambia, who's got such a sweet voice, and
Yes.
with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Because dreadlocks back in the day for a person and at the age that I was in, like it was not normal. It was it was different. So yeah, with the scene around Joburg and so forth, because we started traveling, we started touring a lot, and going to Durban and everything, and the reception was really great. The other thing that I feel kind of was like a challenge for me was when I decided to change my name from Percy
Yes.
to P Postman. Because it was a bit tricky. People couldn't identify with the new name. They couldn't relate properly with the new version of me. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So.
Yes.
That was a bit tricky. But I think when I started working with Rude Boy Entertainment, because like that's when I changed my name. We were doing a lot of like projects that were really really great. Like like we were talking we're talking about that song that I did with Anthony B, which was a very very great, like that's a milestone for me, because Anthony B is a really phenomenal artist, and yeah, he's world renowned like that. And yeah, man, it was an honor to do such. And so those type of moves were really kind of getting people to actually know who P Postman, like even internationally,
Yes.
So it wasn't a thing of Percy, the son of Colbert Mukwevho anymore. So yeah, man. That's...
You mentioned changing your name, and I wanted to ask you about that. I know your friend gave you the name.
My cousin, yeah.
Your cousin gave you the name. Why did you decide to stick to P Postman? Because a lot of the times, when I am like, no man, Percy now is P Postman. Search on iTunes, you're gonna find him. And people are like, why would he go for Postman? Okay, we get P. P stands for Percy, but
yeah,
Postman,
the thing
why?
Is, the story behind that name is what really, really like is something that I hold close.
Yeah.
Because it's actually Percy the Postman. But
not Percy Postman.
No. It is P Postman.
Okay.
It is P Postman, but it's P dot. So what that entails, what the P entails, is Percy the Postman, right?
Okay.
And what that concept was basically based on was the fact that I'm a messenger. I'm someone with a message, right?
Through the music.
Yes. And post, the word itself means a lot of things. It means after, right? I mean,
look at you. Okay.
Right? So,
okay.
So it's also like futuristic man. Post could mean something that holds something up.
Okay.
I hold the flag high.
Okay.
Post could also mean like whatever post means was something that I could relate or I could really I felt really defined the person that I am in the music industry, so that's the whole theme behind P Postman.
Damn,
yeah,
it's so deep.
Yeah.
I really thought, okay, maybe you were wearing a cap, and then your cousin was like,
well, that's
no
where it
Postman,
started. That is where it started, because I was wearing a cap and it looked like a postman's cap.
And then
we went deeper into working, around the concept of this P Postman.
I get you.
And then we came up with a whole lot of definitions of why we should go with P Postman.
I got you.
Yeah.
I called you here because I want people to know your story and to know where you've been.
Yeah.
And to know what you've been up to.
I
know what you've been up to, but what have you been up to the people?
I've been working, man. I've been working. Last year, I got nominated for the Summers, which was really great. I had released an album titled Real Talk, which is one of the best albums I've ever worked on, and Yeah, I recently worked on something with Rabs Wafui and Kalo, and Ali Keys. We did a track called Honest.
Okay.
Um, it's quite a different, like it's a very different feel from what people are used to me
I
doing.
imagine Kalo and
Yeah,
then
and
Raps
it's
and then
more of like
you.
a dance song, you know. So
Okay.
it's an interesting sound. I love it. It's a very very dope song.
Nice.
So you can check that out as well. Um, I'm also really really focusing on um working on my little brother's career.
Yay. Okay.
And yeah, because we're running this record label called Lion Voice Empire.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to actually releasing, songs with my sisters as well.
Mm.
So we're trying to really keep it in the family like that.
Mm.
So those are other projects those are some of the other projects that you could
You're
be
busy
looking
with.
forward to.
Looking at your legacy, and there's a part on I Am a Legend you were breaking about I'm the first son of Colbert and Colbert is the first son of
Yeah.
the music talent seems to be like passed through from one generation to the next and to the next. And seeing you, I remember your sisters and your baby brother at a very young age, they were already your backup singers
Yeah.
at that time. I want to know from you as Percy, a man now, would you pass that to your kids? Would you like say to the kids, I also want you guys in the entertainment industry? Looking at the challenges as well that you've been through, you've had your own fair share of looking at the industry and be like, damn, this place is cruel. You know?
Yeah, well, the music industry is crazy, to be honest, because a lot is expected, from you, and you can't really live like a normal human being. You need to you right in the face of the world. You know what I mean? So I honestly wouldn't force feed music
Into your kids.
into my no, I wouldn't do that. I would, but the thing about the thing about my kind of you know generational heritage and whatnot is it's all in the genes, and it's crazy because it's not something that you choose for yourself. You just find yourself with this ability to sing, to have like a very good ear for music. So automatically you fall in love with this thing. You know what I mean? So I don't think I was also forced to do music. So I wouldn't force it on my kid or anybody else. I just feel they just have to feel like this is what they really want to do. And I'll just support that. Yeah.
Whichever, even if they want to be a doctor,
Yeah, I'd
you're going to be
support
like,
that.
you're still healing people, you're still spreading the message, but in a different way.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
think with music I would probably show them, the disadvantages as well. Like, okay, these are the pros and cons of this whole thing. So if you really want to, do this, you need to consider all these things. Yeah.
Okay, earlier on we spoke about your identity and you were explaining to me why you want to go back to your roots and stick to you being a reggae artist. And I said to you, dude, you have been nominated. It's like people are forcing you. Nna ke go batla as R&B artist, all the time. Because
Yeah.
you've been nominated, I think, 3 times at the Summers as an R&B.
twice now.
Twice.
Yeah.
As an R&B artist.
Yeah.
If ke le Masego, ke tseya di chance. Ne, ke tlo re, la e batla. Le nna ke R&B artist ge. But you seem to be like, okay, fine, you guys see this versatility of me, but this is why I want to be. Have you ever been tempted to say, okay, let me stick to what the people seem to be leaning towards?
I think that's the thing. I was raised in a reggae
Yes.
family,
Yes.
So when I started this whole thing, it was reggae that I was doing,
Yeah.
and as I grew, I started wanting to, take my own route,
Okay.
and take this music thing the way I feel, because as a kid you'd be listening to all these different influences and start feeling like, I could actually tap into that, but at the end of the day, I feel like the essence of me is in my roots, Um, I'm more, I think I'm more powerful when I do reggae, because reggae is more of a genre that focuses on the message, like a strong, like the essence of reggae is the message that you put into the music. With other genres, man, it's more about having fun and all these other things. So I think the more I'm growing older, I'm also becoming very serious.
About reggae.
No, about what I want to share with
Okay.
people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel I probably should go back to the music that allows me to do that better. Yeah.
Okay, and how like people receive reggae music here, especially the mainstream media. And
Yeah.
look at me saying this, and that time I'm part of the mainstream. Okay, how do you
Yeah.
think we are? I mean, there's been your dad, there's been Lucky Dube, there's been like a lot of like legends in the R&B, in the reggae,
Scene,
genre.
yeah.
Yes, but how do you think right now we are receiving the? Are you guys getting like the support that you always been getting, or is it lacking a little bit? Do you feel like there can be more?
The thing about reggae is it's really not mainstream.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's
too deep.
yeah, it is. But I think that's also what makes it have a market, because people that love reggae, and regardless of whether you're playing it on TV or on radio, they if you are finding ways to publish that material, they will go and get it. If you are creating like a festival, like just a reggae festival, people actually really
We'll
do.
go in there too.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying. I mean, you look at the culture that was being done by Appleseed and Admiral
Yes.
in Newtown Baseline, right? Every Thursday,
Yes.
man, that culture, stands the test of time. It still gets jam packed, because people really love that type of music. So I think when you go into that, you should just know that, okay, you will have your fans and you will have your market. It might not be a public or a mainstream commercial market or whatever you want to call it. But yes, it's there. There's a market for reggae, and you just need to do it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking back at in your journey right now, you collaborated with Anthony B,
Yeah.
Zambia. You just told me about Kalo and Robs.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad.
Hash one.
Heshwan. Yeah, you've done a lot with Motswako people.
Yeah, I have actually.
Yes.
A lot.
Look at you.
I was actually working on something with who's this? It's just that we didn't finish that up. The Motswako guy, man.
Man,
My
Kulichana?
no.
Naughty.
Wait.
Okay.
The very first guy. One of the very
Tux.
first. Tuksinganga.
Oh no!
Yes.
Why don't you finish it?
I don't think Tux is into other things now, man.
But I think Latwana, in
the
terms
way
of
I
you guys,
see-
the way you guys think,
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys are almost like similar.
Yeah. Like even in terms of what we like talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
I go back. Finish it.
I know. Hopefully.
Okay. Are there other Motswako artists you want to work with?
Yeah, I want to work with Kulichana.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I want to work with Kulichana.
Yeah.
Who else? Rest in peace, man. Double HP. We actually had a track recorded. It was actually called Music Industry. But it never went out. It was like something that was just, under the wraps. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. I've worked with a whole lot of these
Motswako
these
artists.
Motswako stars,
Okay.
Yeah. But,
Then okay. In I don't want to say in South Africa, but internationally as well. Who do you wanna see yourself working with? Already you worked with Anthony, so I imagine there could be like more possibly other artists?
I'd say Damian Marley.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd like to work with Damian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to pray about it.
Nah. It's going to happen.
Right, and come back and
Yeah.
tell me more about it.
Sure thing.
Beside music, are there other clothing line that probably you're busy with? Are there other things that you're doing?
Yeah. Clothing line is one of them. I'm also trying to work on my documentary also.
Yay.
I wanna tell the story properly. And also I wanna work on some things that I don't feel ready to talk to you about yet. Still under the pipelines.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I also want to become a huge businessman.
Okay.
With whatever that I can think of, like, even agriculture, and stuff like that. But obviously I can't do everything at once. So yeah, no, I do have a lot of things that I'm working on. Yeah, man. I guess I'll let you know in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Sure.
Looking back also in your journey, the mistakes you've made professionally and personally.
Yeah.
I think as much as you are still young, I know you want to believe you're old, but I believe you are like middle something there.
I think I've always been an old soul,
yes,
even as a young kid.
Yes. You've been in the industry longer than the people. People always laugh when we say Bow Wow is a legend. And I see you like that. I'm like, this guy has been singing for a long time, longer than people his age.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd say you are a young legend.
Yeah.
But then I'm sure there are mistakes that you've made at a young age, or even right now, in professionally and personally as well. What are those mistakes? And what have you learned from that? We can start with the music.
With the music. I think with the music, one thing that has happened for me is that I was signed, and I think somehow I can't really say that was really my mistake, but it was something that I had to learn from. I was signed at a very young age, and I had to learn things as I just went.
As you go.
Yeah. So, like, realizing that, okay, record labels, whatever record deal that you have is not necessarily like the right record deal for you, Like right now, I've decided to just remain independent until further notice. You know what I mean? Because, you find that you are being ripped off.
Ish.
Like these guys are just nuts.
People are getting rich.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Your own expense.
And also, they turn to drive the type of sound that you should be doing,
Yes.
And then you can't now express yourself as the artist that you want to express yourself as, So learning the fact that I should be more in control of my career is one thing that I've learned so far, amongst other things. So other mistakes I've made, I don't really have. I don't think.
Maybe you
really
collaborated with a person and you're like, what
yes.
was I doing there? Masego's not even talented.
But you see, sometimes you do things like that for traction. Just to, be seen in whatever wave that's, and that's the other thing I've learned, not to ride with the wave. You need to create your own wave. So yeah, I'd say those are like just to name a few things.
Okay.
Those are the things that I've learned so far.
Personally,
why are we getting personal?
You can be on the surface. You don't have to be too deep.
You see, the thing is, I'm a very private person.
Okay.
I'd rather not go down that route. No, like seriously.
Okay, I tried.
Yeah, no, I'd rather leave the music to the music.
speak
Yeah, yeah,
for-
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that I don't want people to know me exactly, but it's I'm a private person.
It's interesting that you say in that,
person.
and come to think of it, I have never read about, Percy's dating who, or Percy snatched somebody at the club.
You see now.
Or Percy was like,
Exactly.
But your family literally, they all like music people. They all in the public eye. You get me? But I've never read anything like...
But that's because I'm a good guy, I don't have scandals, I'm not scandalous like that.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
I want to say one last thing. You are multifaceted. You are a producer. You are a writer. You are a composer. Is it like difficult for you? First of all, how do you approach all of those things, single as they are? Like, how do you approach music as a producer? How difficult is it to say, now I'm a singer and all this kind of stuff? Is it difficult for you?
No, it's not actually.
And now that you say now you want to be an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah. Well, for me, being all these things, it just comes with the music, But I've kind of stepped away from producing a bit because I also feel like I can't be everything at once,
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I look for a different sound, which is not necessarily what I would personally produce,
How long did it take you to get that? Because I know people get big-headed. I, as a content producer, sometimes it's hard when somebody says, my song about this topic is pop.
Yeah.
Like, how long did it take you for you to get to that part? Because you have to be very, very confident and comfortable first.
And also true to yourself.
True to yourself as well, to be able to say, Percy, yes, you do have a signature, but sometimes you need something else from another person.
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
Okay, let me just start. Let me answer this question like this. When I released Spectacular, because, I released Here I Am, and then I did that song with Mzambia.
Yes.
My dad was the one in control of everything there. Like, there was just only one song that I did on Here I Am, which I did with my uncle Muraro.
Okay.
So, when I started feeling like, hey, I want to try something different from this whole reggae thing that my dad is making me do, What's Spectacular is when I started actually actively, being like in control of the sound I'm going for. Whoever that's producing me, there were times when I would actually go on the keyboard and play something.
Yeah.
So that we can actually drive this thing towards the type of sound that I want, So I had to actually learn how to produce at the age of 15, and also be open to other people's ideas. And the thing is, what I realized when I as I was growing and working on these different projects is you must be open to other people's ideas. You can't want to do everything alone, And so I started playing guitar as well to be able to like have if I want a producer to do this, I would have to be able to play it, And then those were the ways that I could, maneuver and, make sure that I get the sound that I want and still not be biased about what I feel I want. I should be open-minded to that. So I think I've always had
that from an age.
So I didn't really have to, struggle with actually letting the production side of things be, done by other people as well. Because at the end of the day, it's getting results, So yeah.
Okay, I think you've told your story. You are here now.
Yeah.
Your message to everybody, first of all, up and coming singers.
Yeah.
And also just to South Africa.
Yeah.
What would you like to say?
I hate this question.
Why?
No, because sometimes it has to be different all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Or else it's all crema what you say all
you know
the time.
what I'm saying? But one thing I'd say is, hey man, let's know who we are.
Yeah.
Let's know our history. Let's embrace who we are, basically, and therefore know where we're going with this thing. And let's leave a mark, a very good mark, and have a whole lot of love, man. I feel like, yeah, man, people are losing that sense of humanity, and I feel there's a lot that people need to pay attention to spiritually, emotionally and all that, so yeah, know thyself, man, and be good, man,
I'd like to say thank you so much, first of all, for coming on Freedom Day
Yeah.
to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I want to say to you, you are very smart. Young people, you need to actually go out there and teach people about your experience. That's one thing I can take from them.
I'm gonna do that.
Please do. And hearing from the person who has been in the industry for decades and decades, it's more easier than somebody who's just working in the industry. It's like a blind leading a blind as well.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and I wish you the best in every single thing that you'll be doing.
Man, thanks for having me, man.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is 5